Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio on a Tuesday morning, but correct me if I'm wrong, it could all be over in New York tonight.
You are not wrong. It could be. A Los Angeles Dodgers victory and the baseball season will have come to an end. And then trading and free agency begins and all sorts of shuffling. And it'll be interesting to see what the Cardinals do to get better again. But that's if and when, of course, eventually will end. But last night, the Dodgers 4-2 victory over the Yankees, and the Yankees are on the, to use the analogy, the critical list right now, down 3-0. Now, no team in the World Series has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. Now, that's in the World Series. In the playoffs they have, the Red Sox came from a 3-0 deficit to beat the Yankees back in the early 2000s. But, Mike, that's asking an awful lot. And it's what we talked about earlier in the postseason. Pitching is what's going to dominate. Walker Buehler was out there for the Dodgers last night. He did not pitch the required 5 full innings to get the win, but they want the win, yes. But he did his job. And then this is interesting managing by Dave Roberts of the Dodgers. He had 6 other relievers in that game, 6 of them. Now the Dodgers are ahead 4-0 last of the 9th inning. And here come the Yankees. They start clawing back. They get runners on, score a couple of runs, crowd's going wild and all that. But you knew that was asking an awful lot for them to come back. And the Dodgers win it by a score of 4-2. How about Freddie Freeman? Is he making a name for himself as maybe the MVP? 2-run homer in the first inning at Yankee Stadium last night. Well, it's there's still another game to go, so you never say it's over until it's over. But 3-0 lead for the Dodgers, and they have assured themselves, if they collapse in the next 2 games, of going back to Los Angeles before they finish things up. 3-0 Dodgers lead in the series.
What does it say for baseball, though? Next team that can spend the most money on their lineup is going to be the next one to get a series?
Well, don't sell the Yankees short now. They're awfully good.
I know, but to me, it's just the 2 teams that spent the most on their teams are in the series right now, which is just funny. And also showing that I don't have a dog in this fight. Terrific award for a Missouri baseball all-star, and definitely deserved.
Salvador Perez is who we're talking about. Prior to the game last night, he received, and folks, this is a very coveted prize, the Roberto Clemente Award. That's for humanitarian services. Now, Perez, from a player standpoint, heavens, he should get every award imaginable. He was one of the Royals' leaders this year, along with Bobby Witt Jr. and Pasquantino and some of these others. But Salvi Perez is the old pro, 34-year-older. Why is he getting this? Because of an absolute ton of humanitarian service that he has performed, both monetarily and with the giving of foodstuffs and care items to his native Venezuela. And he's done it all. He deserves this. This is a big prize and a very, very, very much established and coveted award, a cherished award in baseball. And nice going to Salvi Perez, who, of course, played down here with the Northwest Arkansas Naturals for a very brief time.
And always fun to watch, and definitely a leader on the Kansas City Royals. So we've got 2 teams in the state, Mizzou and the MSU Bears, that have got a pretty busy schedule this weekend.
Well, the Mizzou will have the weekend off. They play Oklahoma next week.
Okay, so
take a week off.
Probably nice after the Alabama game.
I think they have time to do some lamenting about a 34-0 loss to Alabama. But Missouri State, which is playing very well, on the cusp now of a 7th win this season, and it would be 7 in straight if they're able to get it. The Bears will host Southern Illinois. That'll be a 2 o'clock game at the Plaster Sports Complex. This is going to be a biggie. Southern Illinois is not the SIU of the past. The Bears came back and buried some ghosts up at the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa last week with a 49-42 win over Northern Iowa. That had been a house of horrors. Keep in mind now, this is the Bears' last year in the Missouri Valley. They won't be seeing many or any of these teams starting next year. And they certainly won't be seeing them in the opening game at the Coliseum in Los Angeles when they play Southern Cal, followed a few weeks later by Southern Methodist coming in here to Springfield to play. Hey, the Bears are taking a very determined look at the big time. But in the meantime, you do away with your opposition. The Bears and the Salukis, Southern Illinois and Missouri State, a long time rival in athletics. specifically in basketball, but certainly in football and baseball as well. So this is a big game on Saturday, 2 o'clock, and I hope it's not expected to be a really nice day, but hey, so what? Get out there and watch the football game. It'll be fun.
Uncle Ned told you to do it now, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are just 2 games behind the Chiefs.
You know, I don't like it either. I don't like it because
especially the Christmas Day. I'm already
they play
seeing
on
it.
Christmas Day in Pittsburgh, and they are young and getting better. And they showed it last night. Now the New York Giants aren't a very good team, but the Steelers beat them 26-18, held them off down the stretch. Giants had a chance to get in there and do some damage, but threw a pick. Daniel Jones threw a pick about, I guess maybe minute and a half remaining in the game, and that cemented the victory for the Steelers. Pittsburgh's pretty good. They've got those fans riled up now, waving those yellow hankies. I don't think that they're in the ballpark with the Chiefs. I don't think any other team is in the NFL, but anything can happen, and that is the Christmas Day game, and Christmas Day has not been a pleasant experience for Kansas City if you judge last year when the Raiders, a weaker team, came in and beat them. So that's a long way down the road.
I know, but it's something I've definitely been watching.
Yeah, heavens yes.
Especially after the Ravens lost in Cleveland, I'm going, okay, who's the next dog? And then I go, wait a minute, Pittsburgh? If I got to see those towels, I'm going to freak out.
Well, you may see them because they're legit. They're not a fluke in any stretch of the imagination. Pittsburgh can play.
Did you hear about the Anthony Richards thing?
I did.
What in the hell, dude?
I do know.
I want to hear you say these are professional athletes with this guy, because I have no other. I never in my life in any professional sport where you're getting paid millions of dollars to do something where a dude taps out so he can catch his breath. I don't. And you're the quarterback. Man, that's a move. All right. Well, speaking of moves, Kansas City Chiefs, I thought, picked someone up yesterday that is going to help that D. And before you get into this kid, 2 sacks already this season, 17.2 pass rush rate behind Chris Jones, who's only at 18.5. To me, this pickup is going to be huge because they cannot double team Chris Jones anymore. So someone on the D is going to eat.
You can look at it from that perspective. The kid's name is Joshua Uche. Comes over from the Patriots, as you mentioned, second-year player, second-round draft choice last year, Michigan kid. My question is, why are they getting him? Here's my question. You've got guys on the taxi squad who are edge rushers. That's what this guy is, and he's fair. I wouldn't say he's great, but he had, 2 of them this year, and he's only played a limited amount of time. But why do you get him? Why do you bring him in? What's the matter with your taxi squad? And what is the matter? Are there injuries with those edge rushers who are there right now who we're not hearing anything about? I don't think Jones is one of them, but you might have some problems. Drew Tranquil, he looked like he may have been shaken up. Had a great game, but looked like he might have been shaken up. And Nick Bolton, he got knocked out, but he's not an edge rusher. He's a linebacker. But I'm wondering, are they keeping things from us about some of those defensive players? Why get a guy, and he doesn't? It's not a costly matter. The guy's only making $1 million a year.
And six compensatory picks, so it's not like we're giving away the farm. I think you got a valid point. It could be a depth thing down the line, down the stretch. He's also really quick. But the thing about Spags' defense that is so amazing is that literally anyone on that D can rush at any time.
Oh, yeah.
You look at the Raiders game, for example, Crosby is trying every single time. The days of the league where they've got a guy on the edge just running in, Spags doesn't do it that way. This guy is kind of that type of edge rusher, and we haven't had that for a minute because it's been so exotic, like, oh, here comes 22. No, it's Drew Tranquil. No, Chris Jones is going through the middle. So I think that's going to add a little bit of old school to it, but we'll see. Only time can tell. And like you said, we didn't give away a whole lot. So, like, Brett and Veach we trust until I can see otherwise.
Spoken by a true Chiefs
fan. That's right.
Fan.
A true Chiefs homer. Get it right. And last but not least.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Folks, you heard him admit that.
Oh, I'm not. I'm never going to deny it. Ever.
Where's your objectivity?
I'm a Chiefs fan first, baby. And I'm
giving him some stuff, folks.
I know. But at the same time, all right, well, yeah, that was the other thing I was going to ask you. Speaking of true colors, what the hell is going on with the Philadelphia Eagles equipment staff giving Jalen the wrong pair of shoes? Did you see that? They give him like 2 right shoes, 2 left shoes or something like that. How does that even happen?
You've never been to Philly, have you?
I've been through there. I guess I'm glad I didn't.
You spend a night in South Philadelphia, you'll understand.
You'll
why.
wake up with 2 left shoes. All right. Last but not least, we do have a little preseason basketball in town tonight. Who's going to be on the court
tonight? The Bears have their one and only preseason game. Now, keep in mind, the Bears did have a closed-door scrimmage. Almost all the teams have this, where the public is not invited to see. They did have theirs, and that was last week in Texas. This is open to the public, and it's 7 o'clock tonight at the Great Southern Bank Arena. The Bears will play Southwest Baptist from Bolivar. The Bears have played SBU before in the past, and it really hasn't been all that close a game, and you don't expect it to. It's an exhibition game at D1 versus a D2. But it is a neighborhood rivalry, and we'll see what happens. The Bears do play the Bearcats tonight and then open the season at Butler in Indianapolis, and that'll be next week, next Monday. That's when Mizzou also opens up the season. I'll get on them for a split second right here. Missouri's regular season, as do all the other teams, open or can open next Monday night. Mizzou is going to Memphis to play. Memphis played a game last night, and it was a charity game in Huntsville, Alabama, called the Rocket City Classic. And, of course, the funds all go to charity. Memphis played Alabama. Alabama is number 2 in America, folks, and a very, very good basketball team. Alabama beat Memphis by 8 points. 96-88 was the final. Memphis can play, so can Bama. Can Mizzou play? We'll find that out next Monday night.
A lot of competition this year, that's for sure. Ned, you have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow.